Our memory is like a special box in our brain. It helps us keep and remember important information. We use it every day. Can you imagine if you couldn't remember your friend's name or what you ate for breakfast? Memory makes us who we are. It connects us to our past. It helps us learn new things. Without memory, we wouldn't be able to function in our daily lives. A good memory can help us in school, at work, and in our relationships. It helps us make better decisions and solve problems. That's why it's so important to understand how our memory works. Our brain has different ways of remembering things. It's a fascinating and complex system that allows us to store and retrieve information in various forms. Understanding these different types of memory can help us appreciate how our brain works and how we can improve our memory skills. It's not just one big storage space. Instead, our brain has specialized areas for different types of memories, much like how a well-organized warehouse has different sections for different items. This specialization helps us manage and access our memories more efficiently. Think of it like having different types of boxes for different things. Each box is designed to hold a specific type of memory, ensuring that we can find what we need when we need it. This organization is crucial for our daily functioning and overall cognitive health. One type is called short-term memory. This is the memory that holds information temporarily, just long enough for us to use it. It's like a mental scratch pad where we jot down quick notes that we might need for a few seconds or minutes. This is like a sticky note in your brain. You write something down quickly, use it, and then it's gone. Short-term memory is essential for everyday tasks, like remembering a phone number long enough to dial it. It holds information for a very short time, like a phone number you just heard. If you don't use or repeat this information, it fades away quickly, much like a sticky note that loses its stickiness and falls off. If you don't repeat it, you'll forget it quickly. Then there's long-term memory. This type of memory is more permanent and can last for years, even a lifetime. It's where we store the information that shapes who we are and what we know. This is like a big library in your brain where you store important information for a long time. Just like a library, our long-term memory is vast and can hold a tremendous amount of information, from facts and knowledge to personal experiences and skills. This includes things like your childhood memories, the capitals of countries, or how to ride a bike. These memories are deeply ingrained and can be recalled even after many years, thanks to the robust nature of long-term memory. We also have something called working memory. This type of memory is like a mental workspace where we can hold and manipulate information temporarily while we perform cognitive tasks. This is like your brain's workbench. It's where you keep information handy while you're working on something, allowing you to process and use it effectively. Working memory is crucial for problem-solving, decision-making, and learning new things. It helps you hold information in your mind while you're using it. For example, when you're trying to solve a math problem in your head, you're using your working memory to keep track of the numbers and operations. For example, when you're trying to solve a math problem in your head, you're using your working memory. This type of memory is also involved when you're following a conversation, reading a book, or planning your day. It's a dynamic and active part of our cognitive system that helps us navigate the complexities of daily life. Have you ever wondered how memories are actually formed and stored in our brains? It's a complex process, but one key player is a part of the brain called the hippocampus. Think of the hippocampus as your brain's librarian. It takes new information and organizes it. Then it puts those memories in the right places in your long-term memory. When we experience something new, our brain cells create connections. These connections are like little pathways. The more often we revisit a memory, the stronger these pathways become. This makes it easier for us to recall that information later. We all forget things sometimes. It's a common experience that can be both frustrating and puzzling. Whether it's misplacing your keys, forgetting a friend's birthday, or blanking out on an important fact during a test, forgetting is something we all deal with. It's a normal part of how our brain works. Our brains are incredibly complex organs, constantly processing and storing vast amounts of information. However, not all of this information is retained perfectly. There are a few reasons why this happens. Understanding these reasons can help us better manage our memory and perhaps even improve it. One reason is memory decay. This is the natural fading of memories over time. Just like an old book that becomes worn out or fruit that decays, our memories can deteriorate if they are not revisited or reinforced. Imagine a path in a forest. When it's frequently used, the path remains clear and easy to follow. If nobody walks on it for a long time, it becomes overgrown and disappears. Similarly, if we don't use certain memories, they can become harder to access and eventually fade away. This is similar to what happens to memories we don't use. They fade away over time, becoming less vivid and eventually disappearing from our conscious mind. Another reason is interference. This occurs when new information disrupts the recall of old information. Our brains are constantly taking in new data, and sometimes this new information can interfere with what we already know. Sometimes new information can get in the way of old information. For example, learning a new phone number can make it difficult to remember an old one. It's like trying to remember a phone number, but getting it mixed up with another one you just heard. This kind of interference can make it challenging to recall specific details accurately. Sometimes, we even create false memories. These are memories that feel real, but never actually happened. Our brains can be tricked into believing something that isn't true, often due to suggestions or the blending of different memories. These are memories that feel real, but never actually happened. False memories can be surprisingly vivid and convincing, making it difficult to distinguish them from real memories. It's important to remember that our memories are not always accurate recordings of the past. They are subject to change and can be influenced by many factors. By understanding why we forget, we can take steps to improve our memory and be more mindful of how we store and recall information. Luckily, there are things we can do to improve our memory. Whether you're a student preparing for exams, a professional aiming to excel at work, or just someone who wants to keep their mind sharp, these techniques can be incredibly beneficial. It's like training your brain to be better at remembering things. Just as you would exercise your body to stay fit, you can exercise your brain to enhance its memory capabilities. One trick is to use mnemonics. Mnemonics are memory aids that help you recall larger pieces of information through simple associations. This is a fancy word for memory techniques. They can be as simple as rhymes, acronyms, or even visual images that help you remember. One example is creating acronyms, like using Roigbiv to remember the colors of the rainbow. Each letter stands for a color: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Another technique is the Method of Loci. This ancient method involves visualizing a familiar place and associating each item you need to remember with a specific location within that place. This involves associating things you want to remember with specific locations. For example, you could use the rooms in your house or landmarks in your neighborhood. You could imagine yourself walking through your house and placing each item you need to remember in a different room. When you need to recall the information, you simply take a mental walk through your house. These techniques might seem strange at first. It can feel odd to visualize objects in places they don't belong or to create elaborate stories to remember simple facts. But they work by creating strong connections in your brain, making information easier to recall. The more vivid and unusual the associations, the better they stick in your memory. So, give these techniques a try and see how they can help you remember things better. Believe it or not, getting enough sleep is crucial for a good memory. When you sleep, your brain is busy organizing and storing memories from the day. If you don't get enough sleep, your brain won't have enough time to do this properly. What we eat also plays a big role in memory. Certain foods are like brain boosters. Foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids like salmon and walnuts are great for brain health. Antioxidants found in fruits and vegetables can also protect your brain from damage. You might think of exercise as something that's good for your body, but it's also fantastic for your brain. Regular physical activity actually helps improve memory and cognitive function. When you exercise, your brain releases chemicals that are good for your brain cells. Exercise also improves blood flow to the brain, which helps keep it healthy. So, find an activity you enjoy and get moving for a better memory. Improving your memory is not about becoming a superhero who never forgets anything. It's about making small changes in your daily life to boost your brain power. Make an effort to use mnemonics and other memory techniques. Prioritize getting enough sleep and eating a brain-boosting diet. Incorporate regular exercise into your routine. By doing these things, you'll be well on your way to a sharper and more reliable memory. Our memory is a precious gift. It shapes our identity and allows us to navigate the world around us. By understanding how memory works and adopting simple strategies to improve it, we can unlock our cognitive potential and live richer, more fulfilling lives. So, let's cherish and nurture our memories, keeping our minds sharp and engaged for years to come.